Welcome back to my channel, South-Merritt. Sports video for this Thursday. Usually my Thursday videos are usually sports, could be food review. Just depends what I want to do really. But this is CBS Sports. Ideal landing spots for free agent wide receivers. So let's see. According to Tyler Sullivan, let's see at this list. Julio Jones for the Colts. Now that Matt Ryan is the Indianapolis Colts. New single color. It would be quite for the reunion for two Falcon legends. I think this would be a great reunion overall. It would add another veteran presence. I don't really think they have a lot of veterans for the Colts overall. I think him and Matt Ryan will be comfortable together. I think they still have good, they're still friends overall, so I think this would be a good situation for both of them. Definitely benefit both. And getting rid of Carson Wentz was definitely a good move for them. And getting Matt Ryan, I think it was a step in the right direction. And could make him maybe Super Bowl contenders. Him, Jonathan Taylor, Julio Jones. It just adds a lot. Odell Beckham Jr., the Packers could be a team that is fine with getting Beckham for the second half of the year, considering their lack of depth at wide receiver, which I definitely do agree. I don't really think they have really a wide receiver one right now. Overall, Christian Watson, he's supposed to be a replacement for Devontae Adams. That was a big loss at the receiver position. Odell Beckham Jr., if they could try to get him, like they said, I agree with what they said with the lack of depth at the position. I don't think they would really care about the second half of the season or him coming back after the ACL. And here's T.Y. Hilton for the Baltimore Ravens. This would be a monster move, and this would definitely help them. When healthy, Hilton is explosive deep threat, which is something Baltimore is currently lacking after it traded Marquise Brown. I definitely do agree with that. That was a very, overall, a bad move. Definitely a terrible trade. Rashawn Bateman, I think, is a step in his own. Adding T.Y. Hilton is going to be very explosive, like they said, and just add a lot. I don't think Lamar Jackson overall has had that great of receivers for the last few years. His best receiving target right now is Mark Andrews, probably one of the best tight ends in the NFL right now. Cole Beasley for the Bears. Beasley would immediately be the most experienced pass catcher at the position and could be a solid slot option for Justin Fields. I agree with that. I think that would definitely add a lot. They need wide receivers after Allen Robinson left. That was a very big blow overall, and it loses a lot. So, for those who don't know, Tommy Fury was actually denied entry to the country. There's some rumors that Jake Paul's been saying he's scared to fight him, but Tommy Fury has something to do with like some mafia or something like that. He's not allowed entry in the country because of that, because he's involved with that somehow. I don't really know the full story overall, but this is what they had to say. ESPN ringside. I'm confident you are a scared little boy who doesn't want to fight or understand business. I will pay you $500K to fight me in the UK. I will do it shortly after August 6th. You accept? Jake Paul and Tommy Fury via Twitter. I want to get out of bed to fight you for $500K. Let me know when you're ready to have a serious conversation. Fury responds to Tommy Fury. That's an insane claim. He wouldn't get out of bed for $500K. Let's look up the biggest boxing prize fights. He is insane for that. I don't even get that. Let's see how much Tyson Fury is getting paid. Tyson Fury, I would type in Google real quick, per fight. It's around $3 million. So you want to get out of bed for less than $500K, bro? You're not even at the level of Tyson, who's getting around a purse of $3 million per fight. And maybe it says with the event earning $1 million per pay-per-views, would earn $10.5 million, which I don't really think Tommy Fury is half the fighter Tommy Fury is half the fighter Tyson is, so I don't really think they would offer him that much overall for the pay-per-view. I think Jake Paul would be the majority of the draw if they honestly did fight. But what do you think about this? I think that's ridiculous and really shows that I think he's kind of scared of fighting, like Jake Paul said. Why wouldn't he take that? I don't really get it. Also, you can maybe negotiate a better contract. I don't even get what he's talking about. Don't you guys already have a contract set aside? You're supposed to be fighting August 6th. Shouldn't there be some sort of cut that you're happy with already? I don't get this. And then, ESPN ringside, due to Tommy Fury being denied entry to the country, United States, Jake Paul would bound be facing heavyweight Hassan Raham Jr. He's 12-1 at Madison Square Garden on August 6th. Paul toured March on MMA, which this is insane. If he fights Hassan, this would be his biggest fight. This will be his most challenging fight to date. I feel like the Woodley fight was okay. That was definitely a bigger challenge than Nate Robinson and Ben Askren. As far as MMA level, Tyron Woodley was definitely more successful than Ben Askren. And Hassan, he's a heavyweight, so Jake Paul's somewhere on the heavyweight range as well. I think this will be a tough fight for him. And if he can win this, I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. I just don't know if he will. What do you think, though, overall? Do you think he has a very good chance? They both have to be at 200 pounds. And he announced it on his Instagram, too. So it's Saturday, August 6th, 9 p.m. Eastern. I definitely think I'll be watching this fight. It will be very interesting to see who wins this one. And I honestly can't wait. Just because Jake Paul, this will be his first real challenge in Madison Square Garden, too. I feel like a lot of celebrities will be at this fight. I think there'll be a lot of eyes on it overall. And this would be a bigger fight than Tommy Fury, I feel like. Just because overall, I feel like it's really the challenge. Will he lose? Will he won't? And this one definitely has a chance for him losing the fight. But what's your opinion on this? This is Stephen A. Smith's top 5 NBA players of all time. Number 1, Michael Jordan. I disagree with that, respectfully. I put LeBron number 1. Number 2, LeBron James. I'm putting Michael Jordan number 2. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at 3. I agree with that. Number 4, Bill Russell. A lot of people were complaining about this, saying Kobe should be in the top 5. Kobe, in my opinion, is not a top 5 player. He's around 8 or 9 all time. He only has 1 MVP. There's no way you don't put Kobe in the top 5, in my opinion. I feel like there's better options. Magic has to be ahead of him. He has more MVPs and more championships, or same amount of championships. And Kareem has more MVPs and more championships. So overall, I think I'll put both of them ahead of him. Bill Russell is kind of interesting, though. I'll personally put Kobe somewhere around him. Maybe I'd put probably Bill Russell at 9 or 10. But overall, Wilt Chamberlain has to be in the top 5. He's an absolute monster. One of the best players of all time. 4 MVPs. And that's the main reason why I put Wilt Chamberlain ahead of Kobe Bryant. Because Kobe, some of the years, really didn't play as great. And you really can't discount Wilt still. One of the best players of all time. He just was one of the most amazing players of all time. Adam Sandler really be pulling up anywhere just hoop. LOL. That's lit. Which he was hooping in his regular outfit, which a lot of people have been talking about. Him just pulling up to different parks, wearing like N1 shorts, things like that. It was honestly interesting to see. Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the new movie, Adam Sandler's movie, Hustle? Definitely a good movie. You should watch it. NBA ESPN, Zion Williamson on the Pelicans giving a max contract extension. I'm not going to let the city down. I'm not going to let my family down. And most of all, I'm not going to let myself down, which there were rumors that he was wanting to leave, which this might be false. I don't really know. This is the NFC South potential starting quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield, drafted first. Jameis Winston, drafted first. Marcus Mariota, second. And Tom Brady, 199th. He's the best one in the division. He was drafted 199th. Really shows that you don't have to have drafted high to have a successful career in the NFL. Here's another list. Comparing teams across the 4 major sports. This is all sports culture. This is teams that are the biggest brands in their sports. Toronto Maple Leafs, New York Yankees, Lakers, and Cowboys. I agree with all those. That definitely does make sense. Teams with the most passionate fan bases in their leagues. Toronto Maple Leafs for hockey. For baseball, you have the Red Sox, of course. Celtics for basketball. And Bills for football. Definitely makes sense. The Bills Mafia overall. Very passionate fan base. One of the most passionate in the NFL. I would say the Cowboys definitely could be in there. They have passionate fans as well. Teams with the most fan bases that suffer the most. You have Toronto Maple Leafs, again. Seattle Mariners, Kings, and Lions. I don't know if I'd put the Toronto Maple Leafs in the same range as these teams. The Mariners haven't made the playoffs in 20 years, so I don't think they've suffered as much as Mariners fans throughout the last few years. Teams with the fan bases who are currently AFK, really nowhere. Chargers, Clippers, Athletics, and Coyotes. Which some of these teams are second fiddle to the other team in the city. The A's aren't because there's really... Oh yeah, the Giants. The Giants are definitely more popular in the Bay Area. And the Clippers. I feel like they're definitely more popular in LA. The Chargers, of course, the Rams seem to have more of a fan base. But the Chargers definitely get in there after that. My career to become the first black GM in NHL history. Definitely a good thing happened. I'm definitely happy for this. The San Jose Sharks, which a lot of people have been saying, they're one of the worst teams in the NHL. I think we'll turn them around and have a great season. Or great years to come. I think he'll make definitely great moves and help the team. All sports culture, winner and losers of the NBA offseason. Winners, you have the Pistons. They got Cade Cunningham in a great pick. That was a great overall pick. Last year, they had Cade Cunningham before in the first pick. Jaden Ivey, they got him this year. Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham combined. Jaden Ivey was definitely a steal of the draft, in my opinion, around the 5th pick. I feel like the Kings maybe should have took him, but what do you think about this? The 76ers, I think they have an okay year. PJ Tucker adding him was a great move. Hopefully we can find a way to pull off getting Kevin Durant, though. Joel Embiid and Kevin Durant would be insane together. Celtics, they got Malcolm Brogdon. That was definitely the best move. Magic, Paolo Banchero, of course. Thunder, Chet Holmgren, and Josh Giddey. I think they'll be very good this season. And SGA. The Hawks, AJ Griffin, and DeJounte Murray. Definitely a good trade. The Wizards, how are they winning? I guess re-signing Bradley Beal, not losing him, is a good move, but they're not nowhere near a championship team, so I put them as losers. Rudy Gobert, I think he's somewhat of a winner. Losers, you have the Nets. Definitely didn't live up to expectations. Same with the Lakers. Pat Bev, of course. Just really his whole bragging thing he did throughout the playoffs. A lot of people didn't like that, so I would make him a loser for getting traded to the Jazz. Kevin Durant for the Nets. I think him requesting a trade, a lot of people don't like that as well. I'd put him in the winner category. I think he's definitely might get moved, but what do you think? Mavericks, losing Jalen Brunson was definitely a bad move. The Spurs, they lost DeJounte Murray. They're looking to a rebuild this season, which I don't really know if I'm confident what will happen with that. The Knicks, I think that was a great overall move for them. They've been okay this season. I think Jalen Brunson was definitely a good move, but I think they need to move up to the top 10 somewhere in drafts. They really haven't been doing that much. I feel like they need to start rebuilding. I think that's the thing with the Knicks. They've been too stagnant. They might have to trade some players away. And the Jazz, that's pretty bold. I feel like Rudy Gobert definitely added a lot to that team. And losing him was definitely a big blow. What do you think overall for all the sports news that have been happening? And this is Aaron Rodgers' new tattoo. A lot of people were making fun of it. I saw one tweet saying that he asked his tattoo artist if he's ever heard Kyrie Irving talk and then put it on a tattoo, which does make sense. It's like a lion with eyes and then some other moon, like a Jupiter moon or something like that. It's so weird. And overall, some people were talking about how he wanted to get the needle for that, but not the vaccine. Here's some WNBA news. The Phoenix Mercury have explored trading Skylar Diggins-Smith per Skylar willing to sacrifice for the team. Don't let social media fool you into thinking she ever thought it was about her. What do you think about this overall? And then here's Robbie Anderson. This is what he had to say after Baker Mayfield came. I don't have an issue with Baker. Stop trying to paint that narrative. No one ever painted a narrative that you had issue with Baker before you treated no when it was a rumor that he would go there, which meaning you didn't like it, and as well you threatened to retire after that. So no one created that narrative except yourself, so I don't get how you got that overall. And it's just kind of stupid. Aaron Judge hits a grand slam for home run number 30. Definitely impressive season. The Yankees have been crushing it this year, especially Aaron Judge. Trent Williams becomes one of the few players of an offensive line position to ever get a 99 Madden rating. Here's the moment he found out. Other offensive linemen to get 99, you have John Ogden, Larry Allen, and Walter Jones. Definitely all Hall of Famers. Trent Williams is definitely on his way to Hall of Fame. A lot of people have complained against going against him. He's probably one of the toughest players to guard in the NFL. And here's another one. NBA, ESPN. People can accept the fact that athletes are now businessmen and no longer just playing basketball. Draymond Green on Kevin Durant's trade request via the Draymond Green show. A lot of people were mad about this, saying pretty much saying they're trying to recruit him, which I don't think they would give up all their picks to get him. But I think Kevin Durant would want it more to come there than he would want to go there. Just because the Warriors wouldn't really benefit that much from losing Kuminga, Wiseman, and probably Moody, and some picks. And maybe Clay too, because they want an all-star type player. They might have to lose Clay, which they just won his championship. They have a very good chance of winning championship if Kevin Durant came there, but you just won one. I don't really think it would benefit them that much. After the 3-1 lead they blew, it definitely made more sense of them making a move to get Kevin Durant than now. But what do you think about this? And what's your opinion on all the stories today in the sports world? That Jake Paul one kind of surprised me. I think that's going to be a very good fight. I honestly can't wait. I'm going to be tuning in. Are you going to be tuning in and watch it? And there's some good movies coming out this week. I think Thor Love and Thunder is coming out. Are you going to be watching it? I definitely have to watch this movie. This is some comic book news. Daredevil star Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio returning from Marvel's Echo. That's going to be exciting. I can't wait for that. Here's another news from the Duffer Brothers. Death Note live action series in the works from Stranger Things creators. I can't wait for that. A lot of people were complaining in the comments pretty much saying, is it going to be like the Netflix one? I don't really think so. Netflix greenlights a Stranger Things spinoff. It will be 100% different to the original series. What do you think it's going to be? Honestly, don't know. What kind of thing would it be? What? It's going to be 100% different. It's going to be more comedic. I feel like a lot of people are kind of maybe tired of some of the action sequences. And sometimes, like, some people might want a break from action. So it could be more comedic based. Or just on the early years of Hawkins in general. It could be that. I don't know. What do you think, though? Comic book Marvel She-Hulk Attorney at Law. New look revealed. It does look a bit better. The CGI originally was horrible and wasn't that good. Thoughts on Miss Marvel episode 4? I haven't talked about Miss Marvel yet, but episode 4 was great. She goes to Pakistan. It really just shows the family element. Her family over in Pakistan. It goes to at the end of the episode, it goes to a flat. Actually, she gets transported by the Bengal to back in time. It's very interesting. You should definitely watch Miss Marvel. The fight sequences in this show are very good. A lot of people were kind of surprised about the element. Because if you don't know, in the comics, she can make her whole hand, like, very big. But in this one, they gave her more of cosmic powers, where it's more of, like, an energy effect. Which I kind of like that better, because I feel like people would have complained if it was just a big CGI hand on the screen rather than that. What would you rate the Umbrella Academy Season 3? I would give it maybe an 8 or a 9. It was a great overall season. The ending was just weird. I don't really get it at the end. No one died, which they did say there was a death. Luther did almost die, but there wasn't. And when they came back and the professor, whatever the hell, he just pretty much changed time somehow. And it really just changed everything. And no one even knew they existed. It was kind of weird. They didn't have any powers or anything like that then. That was the weirdest part in my opinion. Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2 releases causes Netflix crash, which I was luckily in there before it was causing Netflix crashes. But I think if you clicked in immediately at 12, it would have, like, delayed. And luckily I didn't, so... Some people have actually been saying that Howard Stern is Doctor Doom. That's very insane. I think I would want to maybe see that. I think he'd be a good Doctor Doom, and definitely would add a lot to the thing. What do you think overall, though? And what do you want him to be your Doctor Doom? I feel like he definitely looks like him. And I feel like the main thing about Doctor Doom is, are they going to do a single series, or is it more going to be like a movie? Like, I don't really know. The Fantastic Four would definitely be a good one for me, but what do you think? This is House of Highlights. This is James Harden. First ever Cash App Day is here. Make sure you all follow at Cash App and drop your Cash App for a chance to win $500. And then Joel Embiid comments, Cash Juicy Lips. That's his name, I guess, on Cash App. Which, I don't know if he should have revealed his name, because now he's going to get a bunch of requests for money on his account. That's really what happens probably when celebrities just pretty much put the Cash App out in the open. But I don't know. Let's look at this. This is NBA ESPN. PJ Tucker, what a year. True underdogs that really got in Miami out the mud. Against all odds. Miami, you will forever be my home. And Heat Nation, I can't thank you guys enough for the love and show all year. Throughout the journey together has come to an end and will forever remain the same. F-U-N Joel Embiid. Yeah, I brought him into this, which I don't really know. I think he really likes Joel Embiid with what happened in the 76ers. I don't think the 76ers really like Joel Embiid either. I mean, I don't mean that, but I don't think the 76ers liked Jimmy Butler when his time was there. That's when they traded him, which, looking back on it, would have been a bad move. I think Joel Embiid really said that. I don't know if this is more of a joking way. I don't really think it is. But what do you think? And I think PJ Tucker was definitely a great move, but Jimmy Butler seems to be kind of salty about Joel Embiid and all this other stuff. And him leaving, which I think more people care about PJ Tucker leaving than Jimmy Butler somewhat. Especially more with the team. I don't think most fans, obviously they wouldn't want to lose Jimmy Butler, but he did try to fight the coach, and Udonis Haslem tried to fight him, so there wasn't that good of a relationship, it seems like, last season. Hopefully that can improve, but that's probably the final story of today, but goodbye.